I hope I got this all set up right. I think I do though. I think I do. I think I is due. I think I is due today. Like like I said, man, I think I just had so many videos that a lot of people probably haven't watched over time. It's a lot of people new to the channel, so you probably haven't seen. What's up, Allie? She said, "No, you don't." That you probably haven't seen, and it was like every time it takes me back to. I do sound like Donald Duck sometimes, but it takes me back to a lot of stuff that I said back in the days. And this was one video I was watching today about consciousness that made me go, dang, I said this a minute ago and I didn't. What's up with it, D Wiggles? Let there be light, Alicato. But yeah, it took me kind of back, and I want to come and share this video. And I haven't been using like I said, what is that other app, Streamlabs, because it be lagging. And I don't want the videos to be lagging when I'm going live. So that's why I've been using StreamYard, because a lot of people, because we use Discord with Streamlabs, but on here, like when I share the link, all you got to do is click the link and you come in. But make sure you like the video. We just gonna jump right in it, and and afterwards we'll chop it up for a little bit about whatever, like we usually do. Dang, my instant is going wild right now, but okay, let's go. Let's get it.
On consciousness, there's this. I mean, the problem with consciousness is do you think it's possible that you can get to consciousness starting from cold dead matter, from atoms and electrons, and building up to consciousness from there? Or do you think consciousness is like a fundamental part of this system that we're in, whether it be computational or whatever it is?
So I'm second author on a book with Greg Enriquez on the nature and function of consciousness, which we are finishing up. We hope to have done. We have a show on my channel on the a cognitive science show called Untangling the World Knot, where lay this all out.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob, the one got me tapped into Danny Jones. He be having some good videos.
He's an entire course on this at the University of Toronto. So I do have some
perfect
theories.
I asked the right question. I asked the right guy.
Okay, so the thing to be clear right off the bat is it's not one question; it's multiple questions, and there's even I promised I would try not to use meta, but there's the meta question of how the questions relate to it. So one question is, what is the nature of consciousness? How can consciousness have the phenomenological, the experiential properties it does, which seems so unlike, as you described, cold dead matter? Although I doubt that you've ever encountered cold dead matter very much, by the way. But we'll go back to that another time.
Okay. Not right now. Not the cold dead matter.
That's the nature question. There's the function question. What does consciousness do?
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm making noise.
It's like kind of weird because whenever you hear a lot of people talk about consciousness, it's a lot of different interpretations of what it is. And when you really see, the scientists really don't know what consciousness is. They got an idea of it, but I don't think they really know. I don't think we really know.
Just come out of my face hole and they're turning into ideas in your head. Yeah. Are you aware of any of the processing that's making that happen?
No.
Nope, it's completely unconscious. Do you think it's complex and sophisticated and it takes some of our very best hyper AI to be able to do something like that? No. Yes.
I don't think so.
So you can do a lot without consciousness. So what's consciousness for? What's it do?
And it's also interesting the amount of power that you need to power these systems that replicate it, and us, we don't.
Well, so that's brains. The evidence. We can get into an argument, like in the good sense, a philosophical discussion about the thermodynamic inequities. The fact that an LLM, look, an LLM uses the power of a city running for 2 weeks and scours the entire recorded information of humanity to get to the level that's okay or pretty good. And that can't possibly generalize. First of all, that's not how human beings do it. That's not how you became intelligent.
Right.
It's certainly not how a chimp is intelligent. It can't read any text, right? Like, so.
And the amount of, I think I heard this recently. There's a stat on the amount of electricity our brain uses.
It's like 100-watt light bulb. Yeah.
Right. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Wow, bro, that's crazy. Like, that's not a lot. That's not a lot.
So
at all.
Well, that will actually go towards part of what I want to talk to you about. So that's a very foresightful observation, very helpful, actually. So there's the function question, what's it do?
Mm-hmm.
There's the nature question, why does it have the properties it does, these weird properties?
Yeah.
And then there's, I'm going to use a technical term from philosophy, transcendental. It doesn't mean woo. This isn't Kantian sense. Transcendental means it's a necessary condition for you knowing something in the world.
And that's what I always thought. What's up with it, Dramos? I always thought that that's what it was. It was like a functionality that you had to make you aware of certain things, of things that you wanted to be aware of, though.
So, for example, you have to be conscious in order to learn. So consciousness is not just something you learn about. It is also a condition by which you can learn anything else.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So the problem, Greg and I would argue, is that many approaches to consciousness don't try to answer these three questions in an integrated fashion. And we think that the questions are deeply integrated, that your attempt to answer any one of these questions depends on how you've made assumptions about the other two.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to answer all three in an integrated fashion. There's another big problem which is our scientific worldview, the one we think we have, not the one we actually have when we use science, the one we think we have, sort of makes these questions hard to ask.
Think we have.
So, for example, we divide the world cleanly up into the subjective, and consciousness is subjective, and the objective that's out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But where were your problems again? Are they subjective or objective? They're in between.
They're right in the middle.
Like right in the middle.
Oh, it's right in the middle.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
So that our modern viewpoint blinds us to the in-between, and consciousness seems to be also in between in a really important way. All right, is that okay for? Sorry, you're asking for the holy grail of cognitive science. I can't give you like oh ippy dippy dippy do, here it is for you. It's not going to happen, right?
I'll take what I can get.
Okay, let's start with the easiest question. But I'm going to show you. I'm not going to keep them isolated. I'm going to try I could start with any one of these three and get to the other two. But I have to speak in a linear fashion.
Okay.
But I'll try and indicate that. Let's start with the function. What's the function of consciousness? Well, remember, we talked about this. When do you seem to need it in comparison to where you don't need it? You need it in situations, remember, of high uncontrollability, where there is massive novelty, massive complexity, massive ambiguity, massive ill-definedness. You need to be online. You need to be conscious. You can't do it automatically or in your sleep.
Like, it's kind of weird because that's what I was saying about, like, when you go and you buy a car that you never seen before, and now you're constantly aware of this car. Now, when you drive off the lot, you see that car everywhere, and you're going, man, I never seen this car before. Now, all of a sudden that you got the car, you see it everywhere. I remember I used to do a thing. I used to go, man, now look, now I done bought this car. Now everybody else want to get it. And it's like, nah, it was already.
Is that clear?
There,
that's the work of
there.
Bohr and Seth and other people. Okay, what is this? Okay, so we've been talking about this phenomena throughout, which is the core of my scientific work, called relevance realization. This is the fact
relevance realization.
You could pay the amount of information you could pay attention to. Notice the number of patterns you could pay attention to. You could look at this bottle cap, then this, then the tip of my nose. Or you could look at this over there at Steve, and then you could, how's my left toe doing? How many patterns are in this room that you could pay attention to?
It's endless.
It's combinatorial explosive. The number of patterns is greater than the number of atomic particles in the universe. So here's the thing I'm going to say to you that sounds really weird. You're intelligent precisely because you ignore most of that.
All the time. all the time. Like think of how much stuff you see when you driving, and all the things that you see, but you ignore like 80% of it, and you only really paying attention to like a small percentage of it.
Because if you tried to search it all, that'd be the last thing you did. You'd die in this room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your intelligence is how good you are at filtering.
Right. Ignoring. Filtering and framing. Yep. Filtering and framing.
Yeah.
So you make stuff obvious, which means you're always making things oblivious too, by the way. You're making yourself.
And I think you make more things oblivious than you make things obvious. Like even looking around you right now, like me looking around and even being on the computer, I'll make the computer obvious and maybe my phone, but everything else is like, it's not here.
Oblivious to things. That's why the very patterns that making you adaptive are making you prone to self-deception. Remember, we talked about that. The way you're framing things is always got the risk that you're misframing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing the same thing with all the patterns that you could be connecting aardvarks in Australia right now in your memory. You're not. So you somehow ignore most of what you could pay attention to, most of what you could remember, most of the possibilities you could imagine, and you zero in on the relevant ones.
The relevant.
And how do you do that?
And like when you think about that, that's what we do with our belief system. We hone it. We only tune into the things that are relevant to us, the things that we believe, not the things that are outside of our belief. We act like they're not there, like they're not happening, like it's crazy. Like what you say, oh wow, this come exactly at the right time for me. Oh, you're welcome.
That is the core. I've been working on that problem for 3 decades. With a lot of help from a lot of other people. Okay. That's the problem, right? Of that fittedness we were talking, fitting yourself to the situation, zeroing in on the relevant information, being connected. That's why meaning in life matters to you, because you need to zero in on the relevant information. You need to connect to it because you got to get that connection, that in between. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, so the situations in which you need consciousness are situations.
Salvador said, I pay too much attention to my surroundings. I'm a terrible driver. No, hey, you know what? That's what I was doing like yesterday as I was driving. I was tripping off how much I pay attention to things that are happening as I'm driving, and I will create a car doing something before it even do it. Like I know what the car is gonna do almost. And it's like after a while, that's what it seems like. You know when the car is gonna just jump in your way or cut you off. It's like from you just driving so much. And I think that's what we actually do in life. We try to figure out the patterns of life so we can always know what's gonna happen next. Like it's just one of the things that we do. So we can, even if not know what happened, but have an idea of what's going to happen next.
In which you've got zeroing on the relevant information is getting really hard because there's a lot of novelty, there's a lot of complexity, right? And and the normal background filtering, the normal unconscious filtering isn't working. So you have to use a second order, higher order filter. This is called working memory. That's what working memory is. That's where you could, if I ask you to do 24 times 52 in your head, working memory is where you're doing it, right? That's that. So and this is the work of one of my colleagues, also from the University of Toronto, Lynn Hasher did, is she showed that what working memory does is it basically, it's the memory you're using when you're online, like the complex situation, right?
Yeah.
What it's doing is it's filtering off irrelevant information. That's why if you chunk things together, you can get them through working memory into long-term memory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
so it's a filter. Like you said, it's a filter. So what you do is, okay, I'm driving and I'm doing highway hypnotism and my unconscious zombie filters are doing good enough relevance realization. Oh, right? Got to use working memory, got to use that higher order filter, got to do a lot more refined relevance realization. So I'm doing a recursive, I'm doing higher order relevance realization on lower order, and I'm doing it with a system that is getting sensory information from the world. Does that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So consciousness is about this higher order relevance realization. It's how relevance realization, which is normally unconscious, can become make information perceptually salient to you so that you can deal with online problems. That's the function of consciousness. Does that
Okay.
at
Man,
least I am not under the illusion that everybody's going to yes, John Vervaeke has solved the
Yeah.
problem. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make a plausible proposal. Is
Yeah. No,
okay?
that's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
that's crazy.
I'm getting it.
Okay, so I'm basically
Use
doing this
benefits, noticing
like
the
dynamically
patterns. Yeah,
self-correcting,
it is.
improvement on my relevance realization, right?
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes though, trying to understand and notice the patterns when you get it wrong though. Like that's the part that throws me off though, cellar door, is when I get it wrong. Like because when I come to the terms of knowing a pattern and I see that pattern happening, I will create a whole nother reality within that pattern, like of what a person is going to do or what a person is thinking at the time. And then something totally different to happen. And then that person to tell me, oh, they're thinking something totally different than and I'm like going, oh shit, like I just created a whole nother reality that I accepted and I believed that was outside of what was happening. And it's like we do that on a daily basis.
Because I need it because of the situation I'm in. Okay, that's the function. Can I get any of the phenomenology in what cognitive scientists like to call the qualia, the blueness of blue and the
Qualia.
greenness of green, those mysterious properties that don't seem to be part of the cold dead matter of the universe? Is that okay? Well, here's the thing. This is Robert Foreman's work.
Robert Foreman.
I've been doing meditation for over 3 decades, so I can attest to this.
Dang.
And he's got lots of documents. I mean, nobody doubts that this is possible. I mean, reasonably, because we have so many people across so many different circumstances, long-term meditation. You can get to a state called the pure consciousness event.
The pure.
Hey, and like the me and Rob, that's the state we be talking about. We call it God mode. They call it pure consciousness. We call it God mode. And that's when you're on the psychedelics and you become one with everything. And there's no separation. There's no separation between you and anything that's out there. It's like kind of weird because it'd be no separation. It's nothing in between me and this microphone. I become one with it's like the weirdest feeling, but it feels good though.
Consciousness event.
Yes.
Okay.
In that state, you're not conscious of anything in an adjectival sense. You're not conscious of any colors. You're not conscious of anything. Usually your eyes are closed anyways, but you're not conscious of anything. Like there's no objects, there's no colors, there's no things. You're not remembering, you're not imagining. You're not even aware of your consciousness. You're just conscious. And so people get into this state
awareness.
And they feel sort of a state of pure, it's a mystical experience. They feel like they're pure presence. Pure like pure here nowness, right?
Exactly. Look, the pure here nowness. The what's up, UL? Says always just learning the terminologies that people use. It's not learning the situation or becoming aware of the happening. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you, UL, on that.
Like I've touched eternity. Pure oneness, pure unity. So
no external thoughts.
No, nothing. Like not just sort of right. So they don't black out. They don't lose consciousness.
You just, bro, it's that's the only way I can explain it is being one with everything. And you just know it and you feel it and it's there and there's no explanation to it. It's like a being. It's like a dope experience of just seeing that, oh shit, nothing is separate. You feel me? It's the weirdest feeling, but it's a dope feeling at the same time. But to me, at times, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of scary because your whole time you've been creating this separation. It's like this is what you do the whole time, and then all of a sudden, boom, you become one with everything, and you just going, hold on, well, okay, what I've been doing this whole time? Like if I'm one with everything, like why have I been creating this separation? why have I been like, what am I doing? And that's, I don't know, maybe it's that consciousness filtering that shit
But they
out.
don't have any, let's call it adjectival qualia. They don't have any like blue or green or now or like nouns that was a table, that was a chair, that was a cat, that was a memory of Pittsburgh. They don't have any of that. What they have, though, is they still have the adverbial qualia. They still have, but it's heightened. They have here-ness, which
Huh.
like, right? It's not of anything. It's adverbial. It's how you would do anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Kind of, sort of.
here-ness, pure presence, nowness, eternity, the way everything fits together, right? Pure unity. So they have all the adverbial qualia. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is a lot of what we think is necessary to consciousness, all the weird and wonderful stuff we have in our consciousness, all the adjectival qualia, that's not necessary to consciousness.
Okay.
So if we're going to get at what consciousness is, we have to get at the adverbial qualia. What makes things here, now, and together for you? Relevance. That's here because
Oh
it's
my
relevant to me.
God.
It's
Hey, hey, that is deep right there. This is why, like, it's weird to even for him to even say that, the relevance. Okay, because if it's not relevant to you, then you're blind to it. Like, think about that. And that's not just saying with things that are around you. This is everything that's going on, the ideas, everything that's going on with life, period. Like, if it's not relevant to you, you're going to push it out. It's not, you're not going to see it. You're going to make yourself blind to it. That's deep as hell. That's hella deep to me.
relevant now. And what relevance realization is doing is putting how all things are relevant to each other and how they're relevant to me. Relevance realization is responsible for the here nowness and togetherness for the meaning of your experience.
Of your
And that,
experience, right? That means that everything that you're putting together is relevant for your experience, not anybody else's, for yours. That's why you're putting it together and you're doing it. Like, it's kind of weird because of the things that we don't make relevant to us. Like, we never make everything relevant to us. That's why it's hard to, when you have a belief system, to believe something else, because anything outside of that belief system is not going to be relevant to you. You feel me? And I'm saying, like, I look at it like this now, like, to the point to where I'm not saying that I believe everything, all these different understandings and everything, but I look at the way it makes other people react and make them feel, and why it's relevant to them. So I can get that feeling that they get from it. You feel me? Even though I don't accept it or I don't believe it, you feel me? For that moment in time of talking to them and hearing how it's relevant to them, I can get that feeling and go, oh shit, okay, I understand. Instead of just pushing it out and making it not relevant to my situation or to me.
that's the thing that survives in consciousness because consciousness is ultimately for enhancing relevance realization. So even in the depths of the pure consciousness event, you don't lose that. So notice I can explain the nature, why it has the features it has, the ones that it has essentially, not the ones we think it must have because it doesn't.
Yeah, the ones you think it must have. He said it's like people say it doesn't resonate with them. They're not feeling the vibration of it, even if they are connected to it. Like, exactly, UL, which is deep as hell. Because it's kind of weird, because like once you go through that oneness, I was telling somebody this the other day. Like, I said, dang, when I'm at work, like, it's kind of trippy because I treat everybody the same. I don't treat anybody different. Like, it was this homeless dude got on the bus the other day. He smelled like piss. I ain't gonna lie. He was stanking. He was funky. I didn't treat him like he smelled like piss. I treated him like I would want to be treated. You feel me? I'm conversating with him, talking to him, laughing and giggling. You feel me? It's like you start to see that little light within everybody that's shining within yourself. And you feel me? And you begin to make everybody relevant to you instead of just picking and choosing because this person is rich or this person is this or this person is that. No, once you start doing that, it's like the weirdest feeling because you know that light that shines within everybody. Once you start seeing it in everybody, when people look at you, they see it within you. And it's the weirdest thing. They see it and they want to talk to you. Like, oh my God, bro, people just be wanting to talk to you, have conversations with you. It's like the weirdest thing, but it's like dope once we start seeing it within each other and understanding that it's there within everybody. It's not just in that person because we think they're more conscious than that person, or that person because they're more smarter than that person. No, that thing is within everybody.
But the ones it has to have, its essential nature, I can explain its essential function. Mm-hmm. Now, what about this consciousness is a condition that makes everything possible? Do you know what you need to be able to do to learn anything, to remember anything? Relevance realization, because you have to pay attention, you have to remember, you have to consider possibilities. It's a transcendental condition on all knowing.
Hey, now that's the part right there that I don't know, because I'm going like relevance realization. Like think about it, like the ones that's here that had experiences, and you were in the experience and you was talking a different language. Like you were talking a different language and you can understand what you were saying or what was being said. And you knew that language that you were speaking, but you never paid attention to that language. Because I think we see everything on a daily basis. Like how he said, we just make the things relevant to us that we want to be relevant. But our minds take in everything. It doesn't matter whether we want to make it ours or not. Our mind still gets stored in our subconscious mind. Like it doesn't matter what it is, even the things that you don't see. You feel me? Your mind takes it in. And it's like, so I don't know about that one. Because I think we grab everything. We just try to keep the ones on the forefront that we want to make relevant for ourselves. It's kind of like doing a puzzle. You sort of learn the edges and work your way towards the middle. Yeah, consciousness isn't self-discovery, it's self-realization. Oh, that's a good one.
So it can explain how consciousness can be transcendental, why consciousness does what it does, how it functions. It enhances relevance realization. And it can explain why it has the here-ness, the now-ness, the togetherness that allows me to orient and learn from the world. There, that's my theory of consciousness. With Greg,
yeah, that was good. That was good. You can check out the philosopher discoveries, the consciousness. But this is on Danny Jones clips. This is just his clip page. Which it was another video that he had did. I wanted to go into a long time ago, but I was like, I don't know if we quite ready for that yet, because it was saying that one dude was saying some wild stuff. And I don't like to, I don't have nothing against Jesus or anything, but I don't like to, put that out there what he was saying. It was like, he was taking it too far. And I don't know if it was real, but I said I might have to do that video one day, just to see, because it was very interesting. And I think the fact that listening to it and seeing the way churches and and things are today, it made a lot of sense. But still though, it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to get into that. I don't know if I want to go all the way there. But yeah. If y'all want to let me see. Let me do what I usually do and invite. And if y'all want to chop it up for a minute, because that's the end of that video, which I still don't think I really don't think they really know what consciousness is. It's crazy when it comes to these things, right? Because when we come up with something, a word, and we call it consciousness, we can come up with an infinite amount of ideas for what that thing is. It doesn't matter what we come up with. We can come up with an infinite amount of ideas for what that is. And this is crazy because what he was saying was true, because once we realize the idea that we came up to, we're gonna make a relevance. We're gonna make up a whole story. We're gonna come up with a whole story that's gonna be real to us. It's gonna, like, to us, to me, it'll be real to me, but to everybody else, when I put it out there, they won't grab it. They won't understand it. Or, you feel me? Or they might look at it different. And it's like, that's the thing that trips me out about these different understandings, is that they can be used in many different ways. You know, even with with the psychedelic experience, right? There's an underlying belief of, you have to do it this way. You have to do things this way. You have to be like this. And when you step outside of that, people won't understand it. People kind of get lost and they be like, well, you're not doing it right. And it's like, bro, it ain't no anchors in this shit. It ain't no anchors in life. We the ones who go, this is what should be done in order for the betterment of us, in order for our feelings and the way we look at things. But it really ain't no anchors to life and how you should live life. We just say, do it like this if you want to live a long life, if you don't want to get hurt, if you don't want this to happen, and we don't want you to hurt nobody else type shit. You feel me? But a lot of people don't, they do it the way they want. You feel me? Which I'm not saying that's a good thing when it comes towards us being humans. I'm just saying, ain't no anchors to this shit. There is no real rules to living life and being in life. That's why everything is happening at one time. Like, there's nothing that the way that you think right now out there right now, there's somebody totally opposite of you, thinking the total opposite of you, doing the total opposite of what you think is the right thing. They think it's wrong, and they're doing the opposite of that. And this is what you start to see. It's like it's a you get a rude awakening. You get a rude awakening. That's why I said, a lot of us begin to get the God complex. And the God complex is when you want to control things and you want to run things, because everybody that's living life, that's the one thing that we say is like, life shouldn't be like that. It should be like this. Like, oh, that shouldn't be happening. It should, like, I was just seeing a lot of people been talking about this. 21 Savage came out and said the streets is dead. And everybody going off like, man, the streets ain't dead. The streets made me who I am right now. That's what Lil Bootsy was saying, was like, the streets made me who I am right now. Because of the streets and this and that. And it's like, bro, it ain't too many people made it out the streets. It ain't too many people made it out the dope game. Like, really, when you think about it, like, the ones that got rich off the dope game, they got rich off of other people that died and didn't survive. Like, crack, people getting hooked off crack. You feel me? Like, the people they had to stand on in order to get what they got, bro, it killed the whole neighborhood. It destroyed the neighborhood. The streets ain't never been good. They ain't never been good. They only been good to people that used other people in order to get what they want. And then this is what's crazy, right? If you notice, right, all the ones that was the big drug dealers, people was making it seem like they was somebody, because what would they do? They'll come through later on Christmas, give everybody turkeys and hams, and then everybody will be happy and be praising this dude, right? But at the same time, he feeding everybody drugs. He feeding the whole community drugs. And it's like, back then, I didn't look at it like that. I didn't look at it as being nothing. It was like, man, that's a good thing that he doing. He giving out turkeys. He feeding the neighborhood. Oh, he clothed them. He put clothes on their back. But what about all the other people that's getting? It's like they say, the Roman holiday, man. It's like everybody living off the struggles of everybody else. Everybody's getting rich off of the struggles of other people. And that's even like, that's what I start to kind of see with these different conscious teachings. You feel me? Like, the struggles of your mind that you're going through, there are people that are using that in order to make money. You feel me? They're using you in order to get rich off of, because they're going, you don't know shit. You feel me? You don't know anything. So I'm going to teach it to you. I'm not going to teach it to you for free, because back in the days, what they say, the game is supposed to be sold, not told. And nobody's out here doing this shit for free. There's nobody out here doing this. They're not writing books and giving the books away. They're not doing none of this shit for free. Nobody is doing it for free, which is crazy as shit. Because I always thought, I ain't gonna lie, this, and it's probably just because I'm fucking crazy or something. I always thought even a preacher that is preaching the word of God in the church, he didn't need the people to give him money. You know why? I always thought that God was gonna make sure he had the money to do what he was doing because he's preaching God's word. So money should just be falling out the sky, because if you're doing the word of God, money should just, it shouldn't be, you shouldn't have to ask the people shouldn't even have to donate. That should just be, it should, I don't know, it should be coming from somewhere magnificent, somewhere spiritual. I don't know, bro, but maybe I'm losing my mind. Sometimes that's what I be thinking. I be saying maybe I'm losing my mind, because I said, if you did hit 30 and you don't know what's right from wrong, something is just wrong with you. If you need somebody to teach you how to be a good person, something the fuck is wrong with you. If you done hit a certain age and you ain't got your shit right, something is just wrong with you, clearly. If you 40, 50 years old and you still out there teaching people bad shit and doing weird shit, something is wrong with you. That's it, and that's all. And a lot of people get stuck in their ways like that. Oh man, that's cold, ET. Man, you can't do that, man. Y'all come in, y'all know I don't smoke no more. Everybody be rolling blunts and shit. You feel me? Now, them was the days though. Back in the days when we used to kind of chill and we used to just blow and just chop it up about consciousness and all this stuff. Them was some of the dopest lives. But I'm even surprised that I ain't even had the urge to smoke no more. I don't even got the urge to smoke weed no more. It's like it's done. It's done. I don't know until when, but I'm like, for right now, it's like I ain't even tripping. I ain't even tripping, which it's even getting to that point with with psychedelics. Like I'm getting to that point because it comes a time to where, I'm not saying that I know everything, but I'm happy being in the now. It's like there's nothing that I'm even searching for or that I feel that I need. So every time it comes to that point to where I'm like going, I'm gonna dive in, I start chilling with my family, and it's like, oh shit, you feel me? It's like, you almost kind of forget the meaning of life, what you made relevant in your life, the relevance that you made. You'll forget about it, and then you'll start going on this search, and you'll leave behind all these other things that you built for yourself and created around yourself. You feel me? And it's like, I didn't want to lose touch with that. And I'm glad that I never did, bro. I'm glad that I never got to the point to where I was up in here wearing a dashiki and doing all this stuff that people be doing to try to make themselves seem spiritual. Like, this is what they do. Like, they got to dress the part, they got to talk the part, and all these different things. I'm glad I never got to that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but it's almost like it's a show. It's not even the same no more. Spirituality to me is not even the same no more in a lot of ways, the way people are using it now. When you even see it online and people that are talking, they dress in the part. They got to dress up and look spiritual in order. So once they get to talking, you will believe that they are spiritual. But then when you go look at their real life and see they be going through worse shit than you. Like, and I'm going, if you so spiritual, how come your shit ain't together? How come your mind really ain't together? How come you having all these different problems, which you start to find out that just because you become spiritual or you start knowing all these things, the problems don't go away. Shit still happens. Shit still gonna go crazy. Life just does that. But on the back end, a lot of these people be losing their mind. And I'm just glad that I didn't follow that way and I didn't become like that. I'm glad that I still kept myself who I am. You feel me? Like, I love that about me myself. It's like I was telling you from the beginning with psychedelics or any entheogen, you don't have to make it into a ritual. You create your own type of trap or maze. Exactly, UL, but a lot of people don't understand that, because everybody that takes psychedelics or dive in, these motherfuckers want to be philosophers. They want to turn into a Terrence McKenna to where they can come and they can talk about it, and they're not even themselves no more. It's like they become the psychedelic, they become this other thing, like the ritualistic part of it. Like it's almost like they become like the preacher type person, and it's like, bro, come on now, come on. We don't have to, like, you can still be yourself and talk about psychedelics, the psychedelic experience, what you learned and how you did it without becoming all these other people. You don't have to, but a lot of people do it. But I think they do it because when you bring up other ones that did it, like you bring up Kalindi or you bring up Terrence McKenna or you bring up Ram Doss, it make you feel like, it make everybody feel like they understand you. Okay. Oh, I watch him too. You feel me? Like I watch him too. Oh yeah, he did say that. But it's like, bro, you don't know how to create your own path. You did lost your mind if you think you did lose your mind. Yeah, I lost my mind a few times, but it's like, I'm on that. I got to that point to where like I'm going, damn, I want to create my own path. I like being me. I don't want to have to be all these other people in order to come here and just do this what I'm doing. I like to hear them talk. I like to, play their stuff sometimes here and there. I like to say they quotes, but I don't want to become them. I want to have my own way and be my own person like they did. Like Terrence McKenna was his own person. But no, he quoted a lot of different other people. But this is what we do, bro. And we become those people and we forget about ourselves and the one that you created, which the self is already not real. But why do we want to take from somebody else's self and all these other creators and we want to become them? You feel me? It must be something that you don't like about you. And that's why I always say, bro, I love myself. I can come here, I can say myself ain't real, but I don't give a fuck. I love myself. I cherish myself. I worship myself. You feel me? I'm not gonna put nobody above me. Above me. I can't. I can't. If I put you above me, then where do that leave me at? That leaves me up under you. You feel me? And it's like, why would I do that when I'm the one who's putting you on the pedestal up there? You feel me? Why can't I put myself up there and I be up there? Why do I have to put you up there because I feel like you know something? You feel me? I'm up there too. Because if I can notice that you know something, then I must be up there with you. If I can see it too, it's only obvious. I'm just saying, because I'm the one creating the path. He said, created our own path. Love that. Yeah, you have to. You have to do me. You gotta create. If you don't create your own, bro, look, what was the saying, man? If you don't do it yourself, man, somebody else gonna do it for you. Somebody else clearly gonna do it for you. And when somebody else do it for you, like you gonna start to become them. And like I think that's the one thing that I was always scared of, is becoming something outside of who I seen myself to be. I didn't want to be all these other things. Like I didn't want to be no yogi. I didn't want to be no spiritual teacher, because I didn't want to be like the pillow method for everybody to lean on. And now I got to always have this information and share this good information. And I got to be this teacher. It's like, bro, come on now. If I'm going to be a teacher, I'm going to be a teacher to my kids. When I come here, I do this because we're all learning together. I'm not teaching you anything because most of the people out there already know it. You already know it. Like y'all be teaching me more than I be teaching anything. So that's the thing that got me, is like when I came into this, people were sending me over here. Hey, you should go check this person out. You should go check out Terrence McKenna. I never knew about Terrence McKenna until I came here, until I started doing YouTube. So it's like, that's the thing that I like, is like we're showing and teaching each other, but not putting each other up to where one of us is better than the other. I'm not making myself better than you or you better than me. But a lot of people do this, and they make themselves seem like they're more spiritual than you are. But then at the same time, they'll tell you, well, in the end, we're all going to the same place, so it really doesn't matter. So how the fuck is you more spiritual than me, and I'm spiritual than you, if in the end we all going to the same spot? If we all going back to the monad or to God or to whatever that is, How could we put each other above each other like in any which way? It don't make sense. But this is what we do. This is what we do. And then even with the information, you feel me? All it takes is for one person to come in and say a gang of shit, like, and some shit you already know. Like you already know the shit. If you like, you already know, but we'll watch them because we know what they talking about is the same shit that we already thinking, and we just not talking about. You feel me? And it's like, bro, come on now. What are we doing? I like when Charles you say that. What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing? And that's why I always say, bro, don't put nobody else or anything out there above yourself, because yourself is the one that's noticing that person or what that person is saying, because that person is only saying what you are already thinking. He's only saying what's on your mind, what you already believed. He's not saying nothing new, not nothing. Nobody is ever saying anything that's just outlandish special. It's just that's what you attracted to. It's like the weirdest thing, bro. Let's see, we are unique in perspective alone. We are mostly have same thoughts, ideas, dreams, but ideas, dreams, but nobody can walk them from your shoes. Exactly. And that's the thing I started noticing, bro. Like it was kind of crazy. I even hated, like for a minute, I did kind of hate that I came to this realization because I wanted to stay in the dream with everybody else and go, yeah, I'm learning. Yeah, I'm getting somewhere. Yeah, I'm watching this person. I can watch Terrence McKenna all day. Oh, I can watch Kalindi all day. And like they were just stepping stones to help you get to where you needed to be. That's all they were. They were just like a guide. You feel me? Almost just to get you where you needed to be, to wake yourself up, to see yourself and see how special you were. That's all it was. It wasn't to trap you in it and make you become that person and worship that person, because that's the one thing that we start to do, bro. Come on now. That's the crazy thing. We just start to worship people. What's up with it, cheese spread? Yeah, it's just terminologies. Most like people just looking for words used to aids to be wrapped around. They cannot really tell anybody what it is. Yeah, which is crazy, bro. Which is crazy, but that's when you start to see your own path and you see, you built your own house, bro. You built your house you really built it out of brick without even knowing. And then a lot of times you'll build it in a way to where you won't let nothing in. You'll just let these things in that, how do you say it, bro? This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. But that's what ayahuasca showed me. He said, man, mother ayahuasca said, that's why they giving people ayahuasca, to introduce them to me, which is them, which is they self, like to introduce you to yourself. A lot of these things is just introducing you to you, the you that you already knew you were. Just that's it. Introducing you to yourself, letting you see yourself. And it's like, once you see yourself, you go, God damn, like it's been me the whole time. Yeah, it's been you. You get nothing outside of you. See, whether you go with the hag or the maid, you will reach paradise. Exactly. Let's see. You said some people like sugar, some people like the salt, some people like pepper. How they spice up or sweeten it. Yep. Hey, everybody have their own. I preach in the church right after a salvia breakthrough. Hey, you know what though? Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Cellar Door, this is what's crazy. This is one thing that I learned off psychedelics is when I'm talking to certain people, like if I'm talking to a Christian, I know how to speak Christianity. Like I in a psychedelic way though. Like I can speak psychedelics, but I won't use the term psychedelics. So therefore they can understand me. If I speak to a Muslim, it's the same thing. I won't, if I don't throw in psychedelics, mushrooms, or anything like that. Like even I was speaking to this Indian dude, you feel me, about Cali and like all those different things. And we was talking about that, and it was like, bro, he could understand me. But it's like when you throw in psychedelics, people get kind of confused. It kind of throw them off. So it's like you got to talk to them in the way that they understand. It's like the weirdest thing. It's like the weirdest thing, but it's dope that you start to learn that and you start to see, oh, if I just keep it like this, then they gonna understand me 100%. But once I throw psychedelics in there, oh yeah, a lot of times I'm gonna lose people. So I don't even mention it. I don't even mention it. And then, I don't even mention that, okay, damn, why is you happy all the time? Why is you always, I don't even mention the psychedelics, except if I'm talking to somebody that then dealt with psychedelics. Because people that ain't dealt with it, you feel me? They demons, devil, evil, all those different sorts of things come into play. But if you're not talking about psychedelics, but you're talking about entities, you're talking about angels and different things like that, they completely understand. They completely understand. Like, oh, I've seen angels before. Yeah, God spoke to me. You feel me? Like, yeah, everything is God. But as soon as you throw them psychedelics in there, it's like, nah, I don't see the picture now. the picture that's just start fading. It start fading. I said, let's see, like passing through the sonic rings. Yeah, exactly. But I gotta go, y'all. I ain't gotta go, but I'm about to go because I'm gonna get some sleep before I go to work. You feel me? But thanks for joining. Thanks for stopping by. You feel me? Did nobody pop in, or the conversation would have lasted a lot longer? But y'all have a good day, man. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. And yeah, I'll see y'all soon. I'll see y'all soon enough. You feel me? And thanks for watching. Peace out.